members, welcome back to another episode of GAWDA TV. We're just back from another record-setting GAWDA SMC. Thank you to the 728 attendees who made this SMC so unforgettable. This year's SMC was a whirlwind of learning, networking, and fun. The action kicked off on Saturday, May 6th as GAWDA's Board of Directors and volunteer committees met to review the state of the industry and plan for the rest of 2023. Be on the lookout later this summer for some special videos featuring the committee members. Also on Saturday, the GAWDA Young Professionals and Women of Gas and Welding committees both held special networking events. The YP committee held a Learn and Lunch presentation from GAWDA President Robert Anders. More than 90 young professionals were treated to a workshop discussing Robert's leadership principles and the trials and tribulations of working in a family business when you're outside of the family. It was an interesting, lighthearted, and takeaway-filled discussion. Following the Learn and Lunch, the young professionals split into teams of 5 or 6 for a scavenger hunt throughout the hotel and the city. The groups had to solve clues, pass quizzes, and complete challenges, and the fun didn't stop then. Following the welcome reception, the young professionals reconvened at Liberty Lanes for an after-party and awards presentation. Thank you to the more than 90 of you who participated this year. Following the Women of Gas and Welding committee meeting, the committee held a meet and greet reception. This event is quickly becoming a staple at GAWDA National meetings. It was an opportunity for more than 70 women in attendance to mix and mingle before heading over to the welcome reception. Thank you to those of you who attended. That evening, we were off to the world-famous National Constitution Center for the newcomers reception and the President's welcome reception. First, more than 80 first-time GAWDA attendees came to the Constitution Center at 5 o'clock to mix and mingle ahead of the President's welcome reception. They were joined by longtime GAWDA members, past presidents, and committee members who welcomed them to the association and helped acclimate them to the event. Then, at 6 o'clock, the President's welcome reception and dinner kicked off. GAWDA President Robert Anders and his wife Missy welcomed the more than 700 members in attendance to the Constitution Center. Taking up 2 levels of the main lobby and hall, GAWDA members were able to network, reminisce, eat, drink, and enjoy an interactive experience learning about the founding of our country and the history of one of the most important documents in world history. Following that amazing evening, GAWDA got down to business on Sunday, May 7th. After the national anthem in a beautiful rendition of the Pledge of Allegiance by GAWDA's very own Bruce Ellenbogen, GAWDA President Robert Anders welcomed the more than 700 attendees to the opening business session. The session kicked off with a presentation given by former Marine and Fox News contributor Johnny Joey Jones. Joey's a decorated Marine who served 2 combat deployments in Iraq and Afghanistan as a staff sergeant and explosive ordnance disposal technician. In 2010, he suffered an IED-related accident that resulted in the loss of both of his legs above the knee and severe damage to his right forearm and both wrists. His presentation consisted of life lessons learned from his dad in Dalton, Georgia, and then from his time in the Marines. The presentation was incredibly inspirational and optimistic. Joey has dedicated his life and work towards improving the lives of all veterans and their families, and he uses his speaking engagements as an opportunity to ensure that people are taking advantage of the time and gifts that they've been given. Following Joey's presentation, GAWDA members had an opportunity to attend 2 out of 6 amazing educational sessions. From 9 o'clock to 9:50, GAWDA hosted 3 concurrent sessions. You Can't Put Gas in a Sack, The Journey of a 90% Gas Independent from Abity Butler Moore, Relationship Selling, Not a New Thing by Randy Squibb, and Relevant Issues in Safety and Compliance, a roundtable from GAWDA's consultants moderated by GAWDA board member Colleen Kohler. Then, following another brief break, GAWDA attendees had the opportunity to attend another of the 3 sessions that took place from 10:15 to 11:05. The 3 sessions in the second portion of the tracks were Customer Stratification, Maximizing Your Bottom Line with Existing Customers from Todd Sondag, a Succession Planning Roundtable moderated by Marie Ratterman featuring Jack Butler, Wally Brandt, and Bill Baxter, and Using Technology to Improve Safety Culture from Bill Woods. As they have since they debuted in Nashville, the educational sessions were incredibly well attended and well reviewed. Thank you to the amazing speakers and to all those who attended. After the educational track sessions, all of the attendees reconvened for one more main stage presentation before lunch. Executive coach and talent management expert Colleen Rogers took to the stage to discuss one of the biggest hot-button issues facing not only GAWDA members, but businesses across all industries: recruitment and retention. Sunday afternoon concluded with the can't-miss networking event of the year in Gas and Welding, the world-famous Contact Booth program. More than 600 people attended this 3-hour event from 1:30 to 4:30. It was an opportunity for distributors and suppliers to meet, network, and learn about the latest and greatest technology in our industry. And new this year was GAWDA's regional one-day pass for the SMC. Members within driving distance of Philadelphia had the opportunity to visit for one day only on Sunday. It was a popular program that many members took advantage of. Also new this year, the contact booth program ended with a 1-hour contact booth networking reception right on the floor. It was an opportunity to continue the discussions in a more informal setting with a drink in hand, and it was the perfect end to the perfect day. Following an action-packed Sunday at the SMC, Monday concluded the show with 2 amazing keynote speakers as well as lots of news and information from GAWDA's board of directors. First, GAWDA First Vice President Eric Wood took the stage. It was there that he announced that this year's SMC was once again a record-setting event with 728 attendees, including 246 distributor members and 381 suppliers. Then, Eric announced the upcoming event schedule for the rest of 2023 through 2025. The dates include the 2023 GAWDA Annual Convention in Maui from October 1st to the 4th, 2023. The 2024 Spring Management Conference in San Antonio from April 19th to the 21st. The 2024 Annual Convention in Phoenix, Arizona from October 11th to the 14th, the 2025 Spring Management Conference in Dallas from May 4th to the 6th, and the 2025 Annual Convention in Tampa, Florida from October 7th to the 10th. After Eric spoke, GAWDA President Robert Anders took the stage to discuss the theme of his presidency, Living Intentionally. He introduced the GAWDA Gives Back recipient for the annual convention in Hawaii, the Malama Family Health Center. The Malama Family Health Center provides caring, holistic substance use disorder treatment to women and children so that families can live safe, independent, and healthy lives. It's a cause near and dear to Robert and Missy's heart as they've seen the impact of substance abuse in their own lives. Click the link in the description below to learn more about this year's GAWDA Gives Back recipient. Then, First Past President Bob Ewing took the stage to recognize GAWDA's scholarship recipients. This year, GAWDA members donated $28,800 and GAWDA matched $25,000, which will allow for 15 students to be awarded $2,000 each. To date, the scholarship fund has received $141,968.90. Thank you to those of you who have donated. Robert Anders then retook the stage to introduce the morning's first keynote speaker and his personal friend, Halloran Hilton Hill. Halloran and Robert first met 25 years ago, and, like a fine wine, he just keeps getting better, said Robert. Halloran spoke about intentionality in keeping with the theme of the event. His overall message was one of optimism and hope. Life is what you make of it. Intention shapes your world, he said. He relayed stories from his own life that drive his intention, and he concluded that we're all in control of our own actions and mindset, and we have control over the outcome and the type of person that we'll become. Following a brief break, GAWDA President-elect Gary Halter took the stage to introduce the final presenter of the SMC, Lincoln Electric EVP and COO Steve Hedlund. Steve ran point on Lincoln's integration in Europe after its Air Liquide welding acquisition, and he relayed lessons learned throughout the process and his career at Lincoln. His presentation detailed what he called hard lessons learned, and it was broken up into 5 key themes: change management, empathetic leadership, leadership development, talent density, and building morale. It was an interesting, at times funny, and takeaway-filled presentation, and it was the perfect cap on a record-setting SMC. If you weren't able to make it to Philadelphia for this year's SMC, GAWDA has lots of opportunities left this year to network and learn from fellow GAWDA members. We still have our 4 regional events to come this year. The first is coming up quickly in Seven Springs, Pennsylvania from June 7th to the 8th. Then, in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, we gather for the Northwest Regional Meeting from July 19th to the 21st. Then comes the Central Regional in Huron, Ohio from July 31st to August 1st. Finally, the regional meeting slate concludes in Ledyard, Connecticut from August 15th to the 17th. We hope to see you at one of this year's 4 regional meetings. Finally, the year concludes with a trip to paradise for the annual convention as we return to Maui, Hawaii after 7 years for the annual convention from October 1st to the 4th. It's an event that really needs no introduction. Registration will open up later this summer and you won't want to miss it. Thank you again to everyone who made this year's SMC so great and whose participation allows GAWDA to continue to raise the bar year after year. We've got a great show lined up for you today, so stick around right after a word from today's presenting sponsor, SafTCart. We're joined first today by Noble Gas Solutions CEO and GAWDA board member Colleen Kohler. Colleen, we appreciate you being back with us today. You're part of GAWDA's Member Services Committee's Engagement Subcommittee. Can you explain what that committee does and how it helps to grow engagement within GAWDA membership?
Member Services Committee really is a special committee of itself to try to see what works, what doesn't work. We want to retain our members, we want to get new ones and get fresh ideas. So I volunteered to do like a re-engagement subcommittee with John, and we had decided to, proactively reach out to members. And just like I had said, what's working, what's not working? Like, do you like the topics that we're talking about? What do you think of our regional meetings? Is there a way that we can improve? Do you have any suggestions, some fresh ideas? And we felt like, yes, the information is important to us, but it's also making those new members feel, wow, like my opinion is really, it matters within this association that I just joined, and people are proactively welcoming and engaging, and it makes our association, less scary, because as you know, when you go to our industry meetings, everybody seems to know everyone. So if you're new, that can be intimidating. So we're just trying to, make it less intimidating.
During this year's SMC, you interviewed several new GAWDA members and first-time attendees for a recurring segment that will debut in our June 15th episode. Can you discuss the aim of that segment and what you hope to accomplish during these conversations?
We wanted to proactively, again, reach out to new members and in general to just see what's working, what's not working. And all of that information is really important to our association. But we didn't want to just keep that within our subcommittee or our committee or even with the board. We want to share that with everyone. And we want to, one, introduce these new members on GAWDA Media and let everybody know this is a new member, but also get some feedback and let everybody hear firsthand what they're experiencing.
For new members, or even for existing members who haven't been super engaged, what advice do you have for them? What do you feel are the best opportunities for GAWDA members to get engaged with the association?
I would have to say, to speak to my own experience, was, a GAWDA member proactively reaching out to me and saying, we really want you to get involved. We appreciate you. We value you. And just jump right in. So that worked for me. So I, instead of recreating the wheel, would suggest doing the same thing. Reach out to GAWDA members, say get involved, let them know that they can join committees and, attend events and meetings and speak to all the benefits that they might not know are available to them. And it's, for me, the more involved I got, the more I wanted to get involved. So I went from joining one committee to 3 committees and then being invited to join the board. And I've really enjoyed my involvement with the association, the relationships I've made, the new products I've learned about. It's so valuable.
How's your involvement with GAWDA positively impacted both Noble and your career personally?
I have been exposed to GAWDA my whole life, having been a legacy within GAWDA with my father being a past president. And I feel the association has grown and has really tried to involve more than just ownership within the association. So that's one really big benefit to Noble, is that now our CFO is on Member Services Committee. Our VP of Sales attends, our spring management conference and is meeting more people at contact booth programs. I mean, last year, I think our entire executive management team attended and is engaged and meeting more people within the industry. And I also feel like that helps with retention for Noble. Like, our employees feel appreciated that we're sending them to these industry events and that we're introducing them to more people. And that's a huge benefit to Noble. And I think to myself, career-wise, it's been great because I learn from my fellow members within the association. I learn from other distributor members. I make great friends with our supplier partners, and I feel that without the association, I wouldn't be where I am today at Noble without the association. And I firmly believe that.
Outside of attending the national events, what would you say are the biggest benefits of GAWDA membership?
So I think one of the biggest benefits that I can speak to is relationships with GAWDA consultants. And I know that a lot of people feel that way, and that's a benefit that we speak of. But, I have a great relationship, for example, with Mike Dodd, and he comes and he helps us like organize our stuff to make sure that we're properly set up, and that, there's nothing unexpected that could happen. I mean, you could reach out to any of the GAWDA consultants if you have like any concern for your business. And there's a lot of like best practices that you can learn from too, from attending the meetings. Yes, the meetings are important because of contact booth programs, making relationships, but you can learn about how people really improve their businesses. I remember one speaker, from AOX, when they were talking about the fire that they had at their facility and how they properly were not insured. And it gave us pause to, reevaluate ourselves and make sure that we were set up properly, and that, sometimes you're overpaying on insurance for certain things and you're not insured in other areas, and that was exposure. So that is something, again, that we would not have known unless we had gone to that meeting and we had heard that speaker. And I think GAWDA does a good job of asking, even if you go on the website, it says, what do you want to know? What speaking engagements, like, would you suggest we do? And I feel that it's such an open association, willing to accept, constructive criticism and hear positive feedback to really facilitate and, engage in those positive things that the association is doing.
Was there anything else that you wanted to mention before we go today?
I hope that everybody enjoys, the segments that are going to be up and coming. And as I was saying before, we love to hear constructive feedback. So, if there's something that if everybody likes this member engagement media platform, that's awesome. And if there's any way that we can make it better, or anything that we could do differently going forward, reach out to GAWDA Media.
Colleen, thank you so much for being back with us today. We really appreciate it. Hobart Institute of Welding Technology is excited to offer a 4-day Welding for the Non-Welder course. This course gives the non-welder a solid background and overview of the welding field, along with some hands-on experience with the major welding processes. It's ideal for purchasing agents, plant managers, manufacturers of welding products, distributor salespeople, supervisors, and more to gain an understanding of welding that will make them more proficient in a job that involves welding-related activities. Check out our website today for more information, or give us a call at 937-332-9500. Joining us next today is Brad Dunn. Brad's the Executive Vice President of CK Supply and is a GAWDA board member. Brad, we appreciate you joining the show. Brad, this year marks CK's 75th anniversary. Can you tell us a little bit about how the company has grown and evolved, and what you're doing to celebrate this milestone anniversary?
Yeah, thanks for asking. 75 is a big deal. We were started in 1948. I'm third generation, so it's been with our family for that entire time. And anytime you have a milestone, it's a great opportunity to look back into the past. So we tend to celebrate at CK. So we're going to have a few parties, invite our vendors and customers and community, and bring back some old employees and just have a good time. So our company's been fortunate enough to be successful, and we're going to honor it here this summer.
Your company's been busy ensuring that you're just as successful for the next 75 years. You recently announced an acquisition, and you've done a lot of other exciting things. Can you tell us what else you have going on and how you plan to be just as strong moving forward?
Absolutely. So one of the goals that we have at CK is we've got a 10-year goal, which we started back in 2017 to double the size of our company. That's not only for the employees' opportunities for their growth, but also for new markets, new products. So part of that recent acquisition in Kansas City was to expand on our current geography and start moving towards that goal. So we're excited about it, and we think we're going to have a good opportunity to tell our CK story in a new market.
Another part of that robust growth has been your foray into dry ice. CK was pretty early to that market. Can you tell us about the decision to invest in dry ice and how it's benefited CK?
Yeah, we were one of the few early adopters. However, in true GAWDA fashion, I was able to visit with a few distributors that were doing it before us, and they opened their doors and let us in and asked all the questions that they learned from. So we were in it for been in about 8 years, and it's been a tremendous growth product for our company. And now we have 3 dry ice manufacturing locations throughout Missouri, and it's become a nice ancillary product line that is played into kind of our total package now.
It seemed like during COVID there was a huge demand for dry ice between the vaccines and food shipping. Has that demand tapered off at all, or does it continue to be very strong?
We were fortunate enough to participate in the vaccine shipment, so talk about essential work. It could not have been more essential, and we were doing truckloads of ice for some of the pharmacies to distribute the COVID vaccine. So obviously, fortunately, the pandemic kind of winding down, that business did go away. But as far as some of the other areas, the cannabis and CO2 beverage and food dry ice, it still remains strong. But we have seen a little bit of slowdown in that e-commerce and medical side.
Some of those things are simply outside of your control. Things like CO2 shortages and force majeures. How has CK had to adjust, and how have you successfully adjusted to those realities?
We spend a lot of time talking, thinking, and investing in just that. I was actually a speaker at last year's SMC and talked about some of the things that we've been focusing on, and specifically at CK, what we've done really since that speech is we've bought more storage, added more trucks, and we're excited to announce that we have just received shipment of 2 recovery units that we're going to place on the back of our dry ice production to become more efficient. So every little bit helps, and there's not a silver bullet. So we'll do what we can to invest and strengthen our supply chain for our customers.
Last question for you, Brad. You joined the GAWDA board last year, and this is your first full year as a board member. What went into your decision to join the board, and what are you hoping to get out of the experience?
I've had great memories as a child participating in GAWDAs just from an early age, and as part of the softer side or the cultural side of kind of the industry, and have made some great friends. So when I had the opportunity to be asked, I couldn't say no, and didn't really know what to expect. And now that I've actually kind of seen the hard work that goes on behind the scenes, it's been really just exciting to find my piece that I can participate in. But the whole GAWDA crew does a tremendous job, and we're really fortunate as an organization to have these types of events and for them to kind of go off so smoothly and enjoy the opportunity to be with like-minded distributors and vendors.
Brad, thank you so much for being with us today. We really appreciate it.
Being active for more than 70 years, always following the original mission. Wherever gas is the integral part and provides energy for everyday life, there will be the technological and productive commitment from Cavagna Group.
Today's member news segment is brought to you by Anthony Welded Products. With carts, cradles, cages, and pallets, Anthony has a model for every purpose. We begin today with 2 bits of sad news. GAWDA extends its condolences to the friends and family of All Cryo founder and owner Rodney Ballard, who passed away at the age of 70. GAWDA also extends its condolences to the friends and family of longtime Dynaflux national sales manager Dwight Spell, who passed away at 72. Both Rodney and Dwight were giants in the industry, and they will be missed by all who knew him. In happier news, we've got a slew of acquisition activity this month. American Welding and Gas Inc. acquired Tri-County Gas. AWG also announced that it had welcomed Coastal Welding Supply to the AWG team. CK Supply acquired Weld Supply Inc. Meritus Gas Partners announced partnerships with Hohenschildt Welder Supply and Oxark Inc. Holston Gases acquired Superior Dry Ice. The American Welding Society announced that it had named Robert W. Roth as its interim executive director and CEO. Roth previously served as president of AWS in 2020 and 2021. Oxygen Service Company held a grand opening celebration at its Appleton, Wisconsin location on May 11th. The company will also hold a grand opening celebration at its Virginia, Minnesota location later this month. Airgas was ranked number 1 in Newsweek's Most Trustworthy Company in America list for 2023. SureWorks welcomed Justin Harrell to its team as USA Sales Team National Account Manager. Jones Welding Supply opened a new Orlando, Florida location. The new branch is located at 4520 36th Street in Orlando. The AIWD announced that Alliance Distribution Partners was named its approved vendor of the year, and that ORS NASCO was named its primary vendor of the year. Butler Gas won this year's Leonard Parker Pool Safety Award from CGA in recognition of its outstanding safety performance. Congratulations to the entire Butler Gas team. And finally, BTIC America moved to its new office at 6200 Savoy Drive, Suite 868 in Houston, Texas. All of BTIC's phone numbers, fax numbers, and email addresses will remain the same. To learn more about any of these member news items or to submit member news of your own, read the full May 15th GAWDA Connection in your email inbox today or by clicking the link in the description below. And that's our show for this month. Full photo galleries from this year's SMC will be available on GAWDAmedia.com. If you'd like any of the pictures for your own, email steveg@GAWDAmedia.com and we can send you the original high-resolution pictures. Finally, once again, registration for this year's Seven Springs Regional Meeting is open now. Stay tuned to GAWDA TV and the GAWDA Connection throughout the summer for news and information about registration for this year's other regional meetings, as well as for the annual convention later this year. On behalf of all of us here at GAWDA TV, this is Steve Guglielmo signing off.